It's been a nice couple of weeks off, but it's time to hit those drop pods and talk some more Helldivers. And how about this automaton mountain climber who just climbed over a wall to attack us? How does that even happen? I mean, he must have some upgraded ship modules, right? And speaking of which, so do we. Hot off the Helldivers assembly lines, and some of these are big. Welcome to the channel. This is LtBuzzLitebeer, and besides those new strat modules, we've also got a new patch that dropped this morning and some issues with the current major order, which I'm going to do my best to help out with. In case you haven't done so already, make sure to hit subscribe. It's free, it really helps out the channel, and the YouTube algo loves it. And while you're here, make sure to also ring that notifications bell to receive my latest upload alerts. And let's get into all the latest and greatest from our favorite democracy-spreading shooter, Helldivers. Alright, very quickly, the 48-hour Superstore reset currently has the CE81 Juggernaut medium body armor with engineering kit for reduced recoil and +2 grenades, of course the matching CE81 Juggernaut helmet, the FS34 Terminator, aka Kylo Ren helmet, and the FS34 Exterminator medium body armor with fortified for reduced recoil and 50% resistance to explosive damage. Continuing over to the galactic map, and this actually changed as I was grabbing this footage, as we were in full control of X-45, but have now been flung into a 24-hour defense campaign on that very same planet. The issue for a lot of players was that they logged on, saw X-45 was fully liberated, and thought, I guess we're done. But this major order was never really about X-45 itself. Instead, the Helldivers were tasked with liberating and defending the outlying planets surrounding X-45 in an attempt to stonewall any automaton advances. The real fighting was taking place on Mesa and Wezen, which the automatons would need to take in order to get access to X-45, but the whole thing seems to have been set up in a haphazard way, and I can understand the confusion. Anyways, X-45 has now been placed into a 24-hour defense campaign that we're just currently getting our butts kicked at, and if we lose this one, we lose the plans for that battle station Death Star thing that was mentioned in one of the past dispatches. Helldivers companion app shows us needing roughly 4.233% an hour to defend X-45, and we're sitting around 0.6% with 7,000-ish divers planetside. So we need roughly 7 times more divers there just to hold the line. I mean, it's not impossible, but the effort has to be coordinated, and the game's major order verbiage doesn't help at all. Also, while we're over here, today's daily or personal order is to kill 3 Shredder tanks, and here's the image of what they look like. You know, just look for the tank with the 4 barrels on the turret, and that's the one you need to destroy. Once you're done, collect those 15 medals. Kind of on the curious side, but there's also this new dispatch that just popped up titled Cybersecurity Alert. And I think I know what IRL event this refers to, but it reads, automaton hacking efforts in the form of malicious messages have been observed recently. These messages prey on well-intentioned patriots with subjects like, check out this patriotic photo, your citizenship classification has been upgraded, and dissident talk amongst your friends. These attacks allow our enemies to breach our secure systems and access secret data. Stay vigilant and report any suspicious messages to your cyber security officer. I mean, I say it often, but you've got to appreciate how the devs just kind of pop these alerts and propaganda messages into the game. It's really well done. Superior packing methodology has been fixed for the millionth time. Arrowhead dropped a small 53.4 meg patch into the game this morning, number 1.000.404, aimed at hot-fixing crashes and reducing the number of divers who get stuck in the Hellpod drop-in loading screens, of which I saw one last night and ended up having to Alt F4 just to get out of the game. Now, there are 4 fixes here, starting off with, of course, superior packing methodology, and it just says that they fixed it, although technically it was said to have been fixed on the server side since July the 1st. Now, here's the thing with SPM. It's still confusing to many players because they call in the resupply, they grab the ammo, and only get partially filled magazines. And this is because of the catch that is not listed anywhere here in the description. The player calling in the resupply needs to have the superior packing methodology upgrade unlocked on their Super Destroyer, or the effects won't work. So just keep that in mind the next time you see partially filled mag counts, and check if that player has the SPM upgrade unlocked. Players becoming stuck in hell pods has also been fixed, along with crashes and glitches occurring when dropping into missions. But again, no specific details listed here in the notes. And finally, changing settings while in mission was causing all sorts of crashes, and it was claimed to have been fixed in a previous patch. It was not, and so here it is again. Now overall, pretty minor in terms of scope, but anything to do with improving stability is welcomed. What I would have loved to have seen are performance fixes as well, because I am seeing massive frame drops, especially when I'm on that new jungle swamp biome planet, which by the way, I love, and it looks incredible, but my frame rate is just all over the place, which is brutal to see while in combat. New Tier 5 ship modules have arrived, and I purposely saved the best for last. These are totally unexpected, but yeah, here they are. And we've got some serious grinding to do for resources because these prices are stout. Payroll management system is first up. And by the way, there are 6 of these, all with different resource prices, so check those out. And all of these have some pretty wild descriptions to them. This first one says, top-of-the-line accounting software automates payroll calculations, freeing up HR associates to lubricate support weapons in their spare time. And as you can see from the photo, it expands the ship module quite a bit with this new module terminal location and more. Now, as far as the effects, expect a 10% reduction in reload time for all support weapons, which is big. Off the top of my head, I think the HMG is something like 5.5 seconds to reload, and this module will take it down under 5 seconds, which is clutch in a firefight. High Density Explosives says removes stabilizing phlegmatizer agents from explosive material used to pack orbital shells, allowing for more powerful payloads. And check this one out, orbital strats like the 380 will now have 10% more explosive radius, which, if you think about it, is insane. Also, as we just push to the bottom of this list, the samples required and rec credits will change. So again, check these out because they all have different pricing structures. Probably my least favorite of these new Tier 5 ship upgrades is Advanced Crew Training that reduces Eagle rearm cooldown timers by 10% if you call in the rearm while still having Eagle uses remaining. Now, some players don't know this, but you do have a rearm sequence you can key in that will send Eagle 1 back to your Super Destroyer to preemptively rearm all your Eagle airstrikes. Like if, say for instance, you think extraction is just going to be super hot and you want to have all your 500 kgs at your disposal, well, you can hit that rearm sequence, send Eagle 1 back to fully stock up, but you do lose all your Eagle airstrike access while it is away. Well, now with Advanced Crew Training, if you manually key in that rearm and you have to have Eagle airstrikes remaining, you save 10% on the cooldown timers. I'm probably going to save this one for last, and that's a huge resource ask for so little return. Next up is Morale Augmentation. Boost overall crew efficiency with a suite of proven enthusiasm enhancement initiatives such as citizenship anniversary celebrations and paid laboratory breaks, which, by the way, has nothing to do with the effects. Reduces cooldown times for all stratagems by 5%. Now, obviously, the higher the base cooldown timer, like, say, for instance, a mech at 10 minutes, the greater effects you will see, which, again, in this mech scenario, would knock off something like 30 seconds from the cooldown timer. Streamlined launch process is going to prove to be extraordinarily valuable, as now, All support weapon stratagems launch immediately once called in, reducing overall deployment time. Now, if this works correctly, and if it works the way I hope it will, it should ignore planetary call-in effects, so no more waiting 10 plus seconds after call-ins, waiting for your support weapons to drop, all while being mobbed by shriekers and other heavy enemies. Again, fingers crossed it works like this. And finally, probably the new upgrade I'm most excited for, cross-platform compatibility, which allows mortar targeting platforms to access Helldiver HUD ecosystems through the use of third-party conversion software. And before I go into the effects here, let me know if you think this is a Sony reference in the comment section below. But now, we'll be able to ping targets so that the EMS and mortar sentries will prioritize what we ping instead of just randomly firing rounds into the air. Now, I love this idea. A new upgrade that also brings in a new gameplay mechanic. I mean, hell yes, I am down for this. And by the way, let me know which of these 6 new upgrades you'll be going after first in the comment section below. All right, I think that's enough for my first post-vacation Helldivers video. Remember to hit subscribe and ring that notifications bell to receive my latest upload alerts. All my socials can be found in the video description and pinned comments. By the way, a massive thanks to the nearly 234,000 of you legends who stuck around while I was away, and I count on your continued support each and every day. Until the next one, this is LtBuzzLitebeer signing off.